Uh-oh. Ouch. All right. Um. Anywho, I'm gonna try and keep this one to a minimum. Because I mean, I came in with a standard London, and promptly hangs upon. Not here. He lets me castle first, which when your plan is white is standard. However, that could happen too. But listen, here you can then get into a nice confrontation, which given instead this move was played, like you would think that you just deliberate since you deliberately hung a pawn, hoping to double my pawns, which is something that um in chess is like a concept that kind of means something. It does, but not when you're like, okay, let's just trade all the pieces because you realize that after even if you play here, yeah, you're completely losing for real. Because not only did you not castle your king, so your king is all hunted out into the center. Well, it's not hunted out in the center. It's stuck in the center because you decided not to castle it. Uh, but you know it's and then you allow this check like you're completely on the defensive. And I understand it's black goes second in this position. Well, in the position of chess, but you are not doing no favors by not just castling. I mean, you could even play for a long castle. You could even do that because playing for a long castle will allow you and let's do like an opening for black that would allow like a long castle. So say I go into my London, um, and then we get like a mm, we get I don't want to play this. We get like a no. We get like it's this into I'm playing my London. Then you play this, right? Uh, you got a feeding kettle idea. Uh, you got a lot of ideas. So let's just say I do this, and then you do you do this, you know, or even some really, you know, you can really just play here, right? For being honest. Wait, yeah, sorry. Play here, then uh, regular London stuff. You feeding kettle your bishop. Well, this is I don't know exactly what opening this would be for black. Uh, and I'm don't worry about what white is playing because I'm trying to make this point that Castle Long. You see what I'm saying? But again, as black, you would be fine with Castle Long because Castle Long means you're about to lengthen the game. You know what I mean? So it's fine, completely fine. But instead, what we get is oh, we don't get none of this. We get the pawn just being hung on move 7 or move 6. Yeah. So it's just, and then you go on to not justify it by just losing a knight because yeah, you're just down a piece. You're down. Well, down a bishop in this position. Yeah. So there's just no justification to either not just say, okay, I'm a castle. But see, if you do that, you get ideas to like, okay, maybe you want to reroute your knight to like right here or something, right? Or maybe you want to get your queen right here, and that's why you reroute your knight because now this diagonal for the queen is looking very strong, and then this is a threat, and then and then you can eventually start to try to win this pawn by playing like rook here, and you got ideas. Well, rook, and guess what? You castle short, so now this move is just so natural. Fucking criminy, right? Anyways, obviously wasn't played. Wasn't played. It was the pawn was hung, and then the knight was hung right after, and then they just allowed this check. And at this point, since I'm up a knight, I'm like, okay, I mean, you could really take the bishop, but I'm also getting my queen out, and and in chess, it's especially because you're playing as white. White's castle, um, pawn was hung, then a knight was hung. Um, you know, this and this, I mean, is fine, but also I could just play like here. You see what I'm saying? So you by hanging your pawn to eventually hang your knight, and you may, and that's the problem. You think it's not a free pawn, but it's not a free pawn because if you take the back, you will lose an important piece, and then you would either still be down a piece, or you'll just be down. You're just down a piece. That's your problem. You're just down a piece. So it's all bad. It's just all bad. Because you allow it to happen. You don't allow this, especially if your plan is to try to take back. It just never works. It just never works. Like even if I wanted to do it like this, because another principle is having your knight in the center. Knights in the center is beautiful, especially because this pawn is very strong. You have to be mindful of like what you're going to open up with your moves. Okay, but let's move on because this game wasn't really the longest game. So I'm like, okay, you can take the bishop, and now for whatever reason, you take back with the knight, and I mean you take back with the bishop, and it's it's fine, but you just you've allowed too much to happen now. And even with this, I'm fine with taking, and this is how you actually are supposed to like double pawn structure. You never really want to try and double pawn structure in the center of the board because most times those pawns are just going to be targets that you either just say, okay, I'm gonna just try and take back, or they get attacked later on. Unlike this pawn here, which is a complete weakness. But you also realize, okay, it's good to take with the queen, which is fair. However, now white has so many attacking chances, because you fully allowed yourself to be a move behind, and the reason you did that is because you allowed that pawn to be taken, and then you decided to take back, and none of it worked, and now you get this kind of position in which, if we're being honest, Black has no real attack. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. I mean, there doesn't do anything unless you want to do, you know what I mean? And, it's all about to storm down on you. All right? And this move is fair because you kick the knight out. Um, but in this position, you see black has no threat. And, if you're going to play for a draw, you should probably just castle long. That is the main principle of chess. The point is if you castle short, or which in this position was not, you just decided not to castle. That's even worse. You castle short. Sorry, you castle short. You're like, okay, let's get in a big fight. But you can't be doing stuff like this to try and get into a big fight. But for one, you doubled the pawn, and it wasn't near the king, which is not really that good. And then also, you still really have no threat. Like, it's there's nothing going, But in this position, there's all types of things that are ready to go. Like, this right here is very scary because the rooks is doubled. It's all about developing these pieces, and when these pieces are not developed, but you're trying to be aggressive on move 7 or move 6 with this, you're not going to win. There's so many reasons why it just it wasn't really going to work, because there's just no threat at all. There's no threat. You don't have a threat. And all of these pieces are going to be brought, by me. And you're just going to be hunted. Like, you literally allowed yourself on move 7 to be hunted. And now you're stuck. You're stuck trying to play defense, which is what black most times would have to do. But if you're going to play like that, castle long. Castle long. So, nice little skirmish, because now I actually am down a bishop. I don't have neither bishop on the board. However, this bishop is ready to fall. Black defense. But now there's this check that is no longer defended by the queen that just moved to this square. For what reason? I can't justify it. So there's nothing really doing. Now you're getting hunted. And now it's easy to show how the queen should be used, because this rank is just completely covered unless you go all the way back to the home square with the bishop. So now it's all bad because I'm ready to double these rooks. This is not a threat because this is still here and this is still here. So now, for whatever reason, on move 23 or 22, castling was just not even close to the move. You want to know why? Because rooks is now doubled, meaning back rank checkmate is pretty much but an inevitability. Because even if you take boom, and black resigns. Because after here, it's checkmate on the back rank. It it's just too easy. It's way too easy when you play like this, and then you think castling on move 23 is going to save you, or castling on move 22. Sorry, it just doesn't work. Simply put, it simply will not. You are losing your queen, and it's back rank checkmate. Anywho, if you learned anything in this game, don't for one, don't castle short. Don't castle short unless you're actually willing to get into a fight, and don't um well castling, and also castling on move 22 is just a incredibly beautiful way to blunder a background checkmate, which is why you resigned on move 24. Um, and the third thing, if you're on move 6, don't allow the free pawn to be taken, because you're gonna be trying to win back a piece that you lost, because you would just be down a piece. Like, which one? Do you want to lose the knight and the bishop, or do you want to just lose the knight? You know, dealer's choice. So don't lose a pawn if you're not gonna want to be down a piece. But don't be down a piece if you're going to castle short, because by move 8, you'll have no threat. Get out of here.